band lasted, I don't know, 12 years, 12, 15 years, through many changes of personnel. And I think even by the first gig, we changed the drummer and the bass player. I think they just found the trip a bit too far for them. And we got a drummer called John Turner and a bass player called Chris Leaney from a band called London Slim, who I've been friends with Willie the singer for years. Great singer. I'll tell you the London Slim story in another video. Ask me about the Alley Club at London Slim. But they said, yeah, if their gigs didn't conflict with ours, then that was fine. They were playing a pub in Surbiton, was their regular gig, the Southampton pub, big pub right by the railway station. People of my age will remember it, was quite famous. And London Slim were sort of the house band there, so I think they played mainly Sunday nights and Wednesday nights, something like that, every week. And occasionally they used two drummers along with a huge organ, guitar, bass, drums, and Willie singing, playing a bit of harmonica. And Roy Adams on the saxophone. Well, I got Roy Adams the job with them, so he got me the rhythm section from there.
That's fair enough.
And that worked out okay. Put some pictures up of that first gig. There's not many, but I think there's one or two. We had our own PA, an old PV PA, and a couple of columns and a head. That was it, just for the vocals. The rest of the band was acoustic, but it was loud enough, you know.
The 5-piece.
5-piece horns, yeah, they were good. And anyway, they got known to be called the Wolverhampton horn section. Yeah, it was a joke made by Rhys Thomas one night, and it stuck. So we were Dr. James and the AllStars Blues Band, featuring the Wolverhampton horns.
Right. What did you used to play? What was your set list, and where did you used to play?
Yeah, a lot of soul classics. In the Midnight Hour, Dock of the Bay, I Feel Good, the James Brown thing. Delbert McClinton songs. He just had some hits. He's not very well known except to musicians really in this country, or that country as it was at the time. But he always had a lot of brass on his tracks, so it was easy to steal those with an arrangement. Things from John Mayall. John Mayall had an album called Turning Point, I think it was. I might be wrong. Had a big horn section. When he first went to America, to live in America, he had a big band doing that. Red Sky, first track on the album, was our opening number. And then we did some slow blues, Gatemouth Brown from him. And I can't remember much of the other stuff off the top of my head, but I think somewhere in my paperwork I've got an old set list. I'll pull it out if I can.
That'd be nice,
yeah. It was a interesting set list, but it was very up, you know, very dancey, and everyone had a good time at our gigs. That's the cats having a fight, by the way. At this point in the video, I'd just like to say that I'm very lispy at the moment. I'm having some dental work done and they messed with my teeth and it's messed my voice. So that's what's happening with my voice. I'd also like to say, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do, because it really helps us. And click the notification bell to get notified when a new video goes up. because it's taken me 3 hours to call everybody to tell them the new video's up. I'm fed up with it. So if you could do that, we'd really appreciate that. Thanks very much.
You were only playing music at that time, or doing anything else?
No, I had several jobs, because musicians always
yeah.
badly paid, especially if you're working in a 10, 12 piece band. You know, the money didn't go too far, and your car still costs the same to run, and your beer still costs as much, and your tobacco and everything else, and your rent. So I had a teaching job. Some of this may be slightly out of order, but there was so much happening in these few years that I don't really know in which order it happened.
Well, it happened.
But it happened, yeah. I was privately teaching a few people guitar, and I'd done that ever since I was about 16. When I wasn't working, when I wasn't touring, I'd had like 5 or 6 students, and I would go to their house and teach them. And it wasn't great, but it was a little bit of money coming in, and I also was spent my time. Used to one of the first guys to really be one of like a dog whisperer. I did that quite a bit, and I worked on pheasant shoots with my dogs. Had 3 spaniels. I had 2 spaniels at that time. And then I got a teaching job at a school near Cobham called Felton Fleet School. And I suppose after half a term or something, I had 12 or 15 students, which would take me lessons 40 minutes, and I'd do it in a day. But they were kids from, I think, 8 till 12. But there I had a student there called Lawrence Jackson, and he wasn't that talented, but he really, really worked at it. He really wanted to do it, and it's a joy to teach them when they want to do it.
Yeah.
So I gave him a lot of time, and we became quite good friends. And one day his dad rang me up. His dad was called Stanley Jackson, and he rang me and said, "I hear you've got this AllStars band. I'm going to give every year at my house, I give a party. I got a big swimming pool there. We put a stage up behind the pool." And he said, and would you like to come and play? So we agreed a price. And I took the band, and normally when people say, "Oh, there'll be a big stage there,"
yeah,
they don't always understand what a big stage looks like. And I kept telling him, "Well, there might be 10 or 12 in the band that night, so I hope the stage is big enough to get the song."
Yeah.
And when we got there, we could have been playing a small festival. It was a great stage. He'd had guys putting it up all week, and seemed like the expense of it didn't worry him.
Yeah.
We took our PA, and we played. I think we played 5 or 6 years. We actually played his summer party. Always a good crowd. Always someone fell in the pool. And his hospitality was great. And he and I became very good friends as well.